Hi all, my name is Ashwin Ramanathan, and I am delighted to bring to you Vidha, a global knowledge-sharing platform that brings together eclectic audiences and international musicians to help develop a deeper understanding of classical music at its core. Vidha is the culmination of the thoughts and ideas of the founders over the past several years. With the pandemic serving as a catalyst, the founders have brought together education and philanthropy under the backdrop of one of their passions, classical music. The founders of Vidha are thrilled to bring to you fascinating content, access to some of the greatest musicians across the world, and an avenue to help develop a deeper understanding of classical music. Your support is crucial to the success of Vidha, so please give us a like, subscribe to Vidha's YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to be up to date on our most recent content. With that said, Vidha is excited to bring to you our first musician series, where we dive deep into the lives and music of two fantastic musicians, Patrice Calixte and Frank Jenkins, from the beautiful city of Austin, Texas. Please enjoy. Thanks a lot, Patrice, for joining us today. I really appreciate your time.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, Frank, I wanted to thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
And it was a real pleasure hearing you play as well. It was a real treat.
Thank you.
To start, just have a group of questions here, and we'll get to like a rapid fire question section, which is just kind of top of mind, one line kind of answer.
Sure.
So the first one is, could you tell us more about your instrument? What the name of the instrument, what it's made of, how do you prepare it to get the best sound, how do you play it? Just some general information about your instrument.
Well, I play the violin, and it's by a luthier called Michael Strobel, mine in particular. I guess how it prepared to, it's something that I've been working on for a long time now. I guess, there's a whole setup that makes a difference on how the violin sounds, like the type of varnish that's on it, the type of strings that are on it, the soul inside, and what is it called? Sound post, that's what it's called. And all of those things, and I have the approach of like the bow also changes the sound of the violin, so there's a lot of things.
The cello I play right now is a French cello. It was made probably around 1890. It has a label from a very famous maker named Viome, but it's not actually Viome. It's from his shop. So the maker is Paul Bailly, who worked for Viome, I guess. I don't know. It was a long time ago. So I've had it since probably about 2000. So it's pretty much my main instrument. And as far as playing it, it's like a constant battle. Instruments are really temperamental, and especially acoustic instruments. So even a day like today, where it's raining or whatever, it behaves a little differently. So it's always an adventure. But it's a beautiful instrument. I'm really lucky to have it, and I really enjoy trying to find the best sounds and trying to create the right tones and sonorities with it. So it's very rewarding.
And that's something that you said you've done it for, I think, years now, right? Like, do you kind of have a specific way of doing it or preparing the violin?
It's always kind of like set up the same. Sometimes if I'm not like happy about something, I'll take it to like a violin shop and just kind of like tell them like, it sounds nasal there, and whatever, and then we'll tweak it. But usually it's like when I take it out of the box, it should be the way I want it already.
Okay. Do you ever change it up based on the type of performance?
Not really, no. I think I'm trying to go for the optimal setup for my violin, and then just leave it like that. Yeah.
Okay.
What inspired you to select this particular instrument?
I don't know exactly. Maybe nothing in particular, except you try a lot of instruments when you're shopping for a new instrument, and something just kind of clicks eventually. You find something that really works for you. There's a lot of great instruments. So choosing an instrument is a long kind of a long-term thing. I shopped for maybe 2 years, off and on, different places. I traveled a little bit to try to find an instrument that I liked. And you just eventually you land on something that you like the sound. It feels like a good match. So that's how I ended up with this one.
I guess I really liked, when I was younger, I really liked the idea of, I started when I was 8, and I was supposed to be into sports. I come from a big family and everyone was doing sports, and it wasn't my thing. So I got, the neighbor was teaching music, violin, piano, and flute, I think. And I guess I picked the violin out of curiosity because it was an interesting instrument to me, and because I liked the idea of it being able to like carry it around and stuff, which you can't do with a piano.
Oh, that's great. Oh, great. And so when did you start playing, and how long have you been playing your instrument?
I started when I was 8,
Okay.
and I'm 30 now, so I guess 22 years.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I started playing in 2nd grade, and I actually played violin first and just hated it. I remember going to lessons and just really wanting to have the snack. Like, we would have a snack after the lesson, and that was like pretty much my only motivation, was just to eat. And so after about a year, it was clear that wasn't a good fit. And I don't know what it was about cello. I think it was maybe just try something different, but it really fit. I really like the sound. I really like the technique of playing it and all that. It's very satisfying.
And in terms of practice, how much do you practice in a given week? Like how many hours, or?
Well, that varies a lot.
Right.
When I was doing my studies, I used to practice sometimes up to 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
I would say a minimum of 3. Now with work and everything, it's less than that. If I can get 2 hours in, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen every day. Some days I don't even practice at all.
Okay.
I'd like to think that I have a strong enough basis that I practiced enough when I was younger to kind of like know what I'm doing at this point. But you always do need to practice.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, given the number of performances you have, essentially they're like practices in themselves.
Right, yeah.
You perform so often.
And certain things require more preparation than others. A lot of things I don't really need to practice it that much because it's, I have the tools to already do it, but other things I really need to like dig into it and just like spend time to really figure out the parts and stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
As far as now practicing and playing, I play with the Austin Symphony, so that keeps me, pretty busy. So it'll vary how much I play in a day. Rehearsals are 2 or 3 hours usually. Practicing can be that much as well. It ebbs and flows. Depends on how much is going on. Lately with the pandemic, it's been probably not as much as it should be, but I tend to find opportunities to keep myself busy, and play.
Got it. Was there a moment that you can remember that inspired you to become a professional musician?
Not that I can remember to become a professional musician necessarily, but definitely there was a moment of hearing. It was actually, I was in middle school, and some musicians came and they played, and I remember one of the cellists played the saraband from the first cello suite. And I was just totally blown away by it. It was not something I was familiar with. And I have this really distinct memory of watching him play. I don't even know who it was. And just being kind of mesmerized by that. And I think that's what really triggered the desire to want to pursue music. I mean, that was very young then, but it just never kind of went away. So it's remained something that I feel like is really important to me. And so the fact that I do it as a career is an extension of that. I'm very lucky in that way.
So I went to a high school that had like a really strong music program, and I was practicing a lot, and I liked it, but I never really thought that's what I was going to do. And then at a certain point, I started doing competitions and stuff like that, and I was good at it. So then that's when I kind of started thinking like, oh, maybe this is what I want to do, and I've always enjoyed playing. So then it just kind of like I guess gradually happened. I went to university and everything, so I never really thought of anything else that I might do, but I do have some ideas, but it felt like it just kind of like organically just happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say whatever national park I can get to in 12 hours would be probably my favorite holiday destination right now. Yeah.
There's this French movie called Astérix Mission Cléopâtre, which is hilarious, and I can watch it like anytime.
Really?
Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, please give us a like, subscribe to Vidha's YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to be up to date on our latest content.